So guys, we're getting into Challenge of the Super Sons, and this is a new DC digital series that's written by Pierre J. Tomasi, right? And guys, this series I've been excited for ever since they announced it, because I really love the original DC Rebirth Super Sons series, which ran for like 16 issues, and had art by Jorge Jimenez, and obviously was written by Pierre J. Tomasi. It's just great seeing a younger John Kent with Damian Wayne Robin, alright? I really like that. Their interactions, their banter, it makes the whole storyline great. And I'm just excited to get into this, guys. I like the issue. I'll just say right there, it's a great issue, and there's a lot of great moments that you're a Super Sons fan, I think you'll like it. But yeah, guys, if you're ready, let's dive into Challenge of the Super Sons, number 1. Now, we open in the far future and we see these old men who are playing this game, this video game where one of them is playing like Superboy and one of them is playing Robin. They're fighting each other. Now, there's these two kids right behind them. There's this boy and this girl. Now, they come down to read. They take out a book out of the shelf. And that's when this boy says, "Now, where were we?" And the girl says, "Oh, this is gonna be a good one." Now, we go to the school, right? And we see Damian Wayne. He's bored. He's like, snore. So bored. And that's when we see the teacher above him. And she says, "Feet off the table, Mr. Wayne. Also, boys, the school library is closing for the night in 5 minutes. You'll have to do the rest of your studying at home." Now, you see John Kent and Damian Wayne at this table. John says, "Almost done, Miss Alvarado." Now, that's when Damian looks at him and says, "Did you finish, Scoop?" And John says, "Laugh it up, Damian, but someone has to present the truth. The school's got a cheating scandal. I've been working on it for weeks and I can smell a story. Just gotta fit the pieces together." Now, Damian throws a paper airplane at John and says, "I already solved it." Now, John says, "Like my mom always says, a good reporter doesn't get great stories. A good reporter makes them." Wait a sec, what'd you say? And that's when Damian says, "It's Professor Harrow's TA. She's been selling previous tests secretly over a dark server attached to the school's mainframe. I upload evidence to the headmaster. She'll be fired tomorrow. Can we go now?" Now, John that gets up in shocked. He's like, "I've been working on this for 2 weeks, tracking clues, interviewing seniors, cloning IP addresses." And Damian says, "World's greatest detective at work. Can we go now?" And that's when they walk down the hall, and John says, "Stop messing with me. I'm trying to get a job on the school paper." Now, Damian looks at him and chuckles a little bit. He says, "First, there are no jobs in the school paper. Print's a dying medium, and you work for free. Believe me, they will take you woodward. 2 Alfreds revoked mine." Now, that's what John says. Hi to this one man. He says, "Civilian. Hey, Mr. Barkley." Now, that's what Mr. Barkley says. "Hello, Jonathan. Mr. Wayne." He walks away. Now, Damian says, "I trust you corrected your mistakes in my physics test, Mr. Barkley." Now, Mr. Barkley says, "Self-righteous silver spoon punk." And that's what we see Damian continues to say to John. As I was saying, secondly, for this week at least, Superboy's Robin's ride. Now, that's when John says, "Well, your ride just wasted his time on another story you saw behind my back, and I'm not sure I want to take you anywhere." Now, Damian says, "You write in a just the facts manner that journalism teachers just love." Now, John says, "And you're the son of a gazillionaire with no marketable real-world skills beyond being an ex-assassin." Now, Damian says, "Ow, that hurts." Now, that's when Damian says, "Okay, friendo, I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but I have no other choice. I hate to say it, but please?" And that's when John says, "Fine. But we have to patrol Metropolis tonight. My mom's making chili." Now they get out of the school and they start running through this alleyway. And Damian says, "Sure, whatever." That's when John rips open his shirt and you see a Robin symbol under it. He says, "Criminals are a superstitious, cowardly lot, and I can't wait to kick their..." Now Damian stops in mid-sentence and says, "What are you doing?" So instead of Superboy tearing his shirt, you see a Superman logo, you see Robin's logo. It's actually pretty hilarious. And John says, "My dad said I was ripping too many shirts." Now, Damon smacks his forehead, and he's like, ugh. And that's when they get into their costumes. And John says, "He said if I rip any more, I have to sew them myself." Now, Damien says, "And here I thought my father had a sense of drama. Oh well, now they start running 4 minutes later, and Damien says, "Look out, evil, here come the Super Sons." Now, Superboy says, "Yeah." Now they fly up, and that's when Damien says, "Okay, I spy with my little eye." John says, "Is that a..." Now Damien says, "Nothing, just the cats." Nothing. Nothing. Now John says, "Wow, pretty dull nights, so there's no criminals, nothing bad going on." Now Damien says, "We should have gone to Gotham." Now John says, "Got something." Telescopic vision comes through again. And Damien says, "What are you waiting for? Pedal to the metal." Now they fly down. But turns out what they actually do is they help this nurse get all her groceries into her apartment, right? Now, she points up the stairs. She says, "It's just right up there. Thanks again." Now, that's when Superboy says, "Always happy to help a hero on the front lines of public health." He starts carrying all these groceries up with the babies on top. He smiles. "Hang on, Superboy flight number 52 is ready for takeoff." Now you see Damien. He's struggling to carry these groceries. He says, followed by the death of Superboy coming soon. Now, you see 4 minutes later, they help this nurse and they got all the groceries in. Now, John says, "I can't believe you asked her for a tip." Now, Damien smiles and says, "I didn't ask her for anything. She insisted." Now, John says they walk away from the family. "The last thing you need is money. You're giving it back." Now, Damien says, "The Waynes didn't make their money by giving it away." Now, that's when John says, "What do you think philanthropist even means?" And that's when Damien says, "Gee, I don't know. Maybe you could write an expose about it that no one reads." Now, that's behind them. This person in a purple cloak comes by them, and they say, "The Super Sons, just as planned." Now, John says, "How about you just walk back?" And Damien says, "Fine, my stroll will be the most exciting thing happening in the city." Now, that's when we see this person, this old lady in this purple cloak. She goes right up to them and says, "Superboy, Robin." Now, Damien says, "Who are you, lady?" And John says, "Ma'am, are you okay?" Now, she screams, "The Doom Scroll! Death on parchment! This is a story from the other side." She burns to an ash. Now, that's when John says, "What's happening to you, lady? Why are you..." Now, Damien pulls John back. He says, glowing, "It looks like she's gonna blow. You're a fash." And you have this big explosion as this old lady in this cloak just explodes. All this fire. And Superboy and Damien fall to the ground. That's how we end issue number 1 of Challenge of the Super Sons. So guys, that was Challenge of the Super Sons number 1, and I really liked it, right? Like, the writing by J. Tomasi, how he writes John, younger John, and Damian Wayne is just amazing, right? There's so many jokes, it's great their banter throughout the issue. I really like Damian, how he's just a snot, you know, how he acts, and then John as well. John is more hopeful and nice. He comes up with the idea to help this nurse with the groceries, where Damien's like, "Screw this, I just want to fight someone and maybe save some people, but let's make this night exciting." Damien doesn't really care about maybe helping somebody with the groceries, right? But still, it's entertaining throughout. The beginning with these 2 kids from the future, obviously they're going to come into something throughout the series, so that's going to be interesting. But the ending, guys, that was really interesting. Because throughout the issue, it's just like, okay, there's no villains, nothing's going on in Metropolis, but we got this purple cloak old lady who shows up and explodes. Now, what's her involvement in the series? What is this going to lead to? We'll see next issue, but this is a very interesting start to the series, and it sets up a lot of things. But what it does best is it really reinvigorates and reminds us of the whole Superboy and Robin relationship, that whole like brother relationship, and how entertaining it is, and why we all love the Super Son series that came out a couple of years ago. Now guys, the artwork by Max Raynor is really good, right? It fits. Now, I prefer Jorge Jimenez, but this is still a good substitute. It looks really good. Like, he draws all his facial expressions well, his artwork fits the tone, and the final image just looks amazing. But yeah guys, overall I'm gonna give this first issue an 8.5 out of 10. I recommend it if you're a big fan of the Super Sons, if you're a fan of J. Tomasi, or if you're just looking for a fun story. There's a lot to like about this issue. But guys, if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Challenge of the Super Sons video. But yeah guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.